everybody, it's Jesse with the Bond Family Homestead. Today I want to talk to you about heat lamps in the chicken coop. I've been trying to get to this for quite some time, I just haven't had enough time. I was going to do it while out walking about and talking and checking on things at the same time, but it's too windy for that today. I don't think that you guys would actually be able to hear me very well. About this time of year, I see a lot of people asking questions on social media about when should I put a heat lamp in my chicken coop, or it's going to get cold tonight, should I put a heat lamp in my chicken coop? The short answer to that is no. Just flat out no. Do not ever put a heat lamp in your chicken coop. Here are some pictures as to why I say this. Okay, you've seen the pictures. All of those pictures were from fires caused by heat lamps. And there are a lot more out there. Every year there are several fires due to heat lamps being used in a chicken coop or a barn. By putting a heat lamp in your chicken coop, you're taking that risk of killing every one of your chickens in a very gruesome death. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. Heat lamps are a big fire hazard. It doesn't matter how good you secure those heat lamps, they can still start a fire. If a heat lamp falls onto some straw, it's going to catch fire. If the bulb bursts in a heat lamp, it can cause a spark. There's just way too many factors that can cause a heat lamp to catch stuff on fire. The only time you will ever see me use a heat lamp is if I've got chicks in a brooder. And I'm kind of trying to get away from that. I just haven't been able to yet. I'm actually going to get a heater eventually. Like I said, I haven't been able to make it to that point yet. Okay, I answered that question about the heat lamps. Let me answer another question. How do I keep my chickens warm? The number one thing that I would suggest that you do is deep litter bedding. What is deep litter bedding? Deep litter bedding is where you take a layer of bedding, such as straw, you put a layer down. Once it gets all used up and where you think that you want to replace it, don't replace it. Don't take it out. Just put another layer on top of that of pine shavings or straw and just keep doing that. Layer it up higher and higher. That's going to help create heat inside the chicken coop because it is decomposing. Decomposition makes heat. So you got basically a compost heat pile. You basically got a compost pile in your chicken coop. At the end of winter, what we've done in the past is we've just taken it and we've thrown it out the door into the old chicken run, which is now where our turkeys are at. I did that because the ground level there was really low, and it's actually built it up now over time to where we don't really have that many low spots in there. We've still got a couple, but not bad. So this year, what we're probably gonna do is we're gonna take our deep litter and we're gonna throw it probably throw it on the compost pile and let it decompose completely. The reason for that is because of the weed seeds that our free-range chickens eat. I don't want those in the garden. So by putting them on the compost pile, it's going to heat up enough to burn those seeds up, and they're not going to be viable. Something else to do is to cut out any drafts that you might have in your chicken coop down low where the chickens are going to be at. Whether it be down on the floor or up on the roost, you should not have any drafts whatsoever, but you do want ventilation. Somebody might be asking themselves right now, well, how do I have ventilation without having a draft? That ventilation's up high. It's up above the chickens. So the way that I built our chicken coop is that it's got ventilation at all times. I've got it about a 2-inch gap in the front of the coop where the tallest part is, where the roof is the tallest. And I got about a 2-inch gap at the back where the lowest is, lowest point of that coop. So the wind comes out of the west and it hits that 2-inch gap and hits the roof, and it shoots down the roof and it goes through the backside where the other 2-inch gap is and leaves the coop. This provides circulating air and fresh air into that coop, which I do believe is vital for chickens. Those are the best methods. There are heaters out there that you can get. Would I suggest them? No, I would not. If you need a heater or a heat lamp in your chicken coop, then you do not have chickens for your area. In that book that I've showed you guys in the past, the Backyard Homestead book, Guide to Animals, it's got a list of several different breeds of chickens in that book. And you can actually look this up on the internet as well. And it tells you if they're cold hardy, heat hardy, if they're tolerant of those temperatures. You need to figure that out. If you live up in Canada, you're not going to want a chicken that's bred to be down south in Louisiana or in the tropics. There's Ida Girl. She's coming to check things out. If you are down in the tropics in the warmer climates, you're not going to want a chicken that's bred for Canada. Chickens have specific tolerances to temperatures. Where I'm at in the Midwest, I just look for chickens that are both, hardy for both, tolerant of both. Because with me being in the Midwest, I basically look for chickens that are tolerant of both cold and heat. Because we get quite a bit of heat here, we get quite a bit of cold. We have really humid summers. We have really cold winters. Frostbite is another issue with the cold. If you want to protect against frostbite, don't get a single-combed rooster. That would be my biggest suggestion. More than likely, if you get a single-combed rooster and you have cold weather, like we're talking really cold, in probably the teens, low 20s maybe, but more of the teens, single digits, that rooster will end up with frostbite on his comb. Something else that I had forgotten to mention that can help your chicken's feet. Get roosting bars that when they crouch down on them bars, they cover their feet. You want them to clamp on with their feet, and then you want them to be able to, their feathers to cover their feet completely. Something that chickens do to help compensate for the cold air is that the cold weather is they actually trap air in their feathers. And you'll see them do this in the winter. You'll see them kind of shake and fluff up a little bit. What they're doing is they're trapping air in their feathers. And they're holding that air in close to their body and warming that air up. And then it stays warm for a while. And then they'll shake again, and it's a continuous cycle. So that's pretty much it. As far as I can think of, if I think of more information to get to you guys, I will get it out to you, because to me, this is very important that you guys do not put heat lamps in your coop or in your barns. Again, they are a huge fire hazard, and one of the number one mistakes I see people make on their homesteads. I appreciate you watching, and if I missed something, feel free to add it into the comments. I'm not perfect. I forget things all the time. I think I've even talked about that in a previous vlog. Again, I forget. Like I said, if you think of something that I missed, add it to the comments, interact with us, ask questions if you have questions. If I don't know an answer, I'm not just going to put it out there. I will look it up and I will research until I find an answer for you. I do that all the time at my job. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I hope that you guys learned from it, especially you new chicken keepers out there. Just remember, do not use a heat lamp in your coop. Please feel free. Well, hi.
Hi.
She snuck out here on me. How'd you get away?
I snuck out.
Oh. But please feel free to subscribe. It'd mean a lot if you guys did. And ask questions, interact with us. We'd really appreciate that. You guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, I already figured something out that I missed out while I was editing on this vlog. I missed out on the point that if you add supplemental heat into your chicken coop, then your chickens aren't going to become acclimated to the outside temperatures, which is could be a very big issue. They could come outside of the coop and they get cold, they get chilled faster and easier, they get sick. It could cause a number of problems if they're not acclimated to the winter weather. So please do not add any supplemental heat to the chicken coop.